Unfortunately, time doesn't permit that we go through all your runners, which I'm sure you're relieved about. But we're going to start off with the high-class filly who bagged third berth in this year's Hollywood Bets July. Bless My Stars in the Grade 2 Golden Bracelet over 2,000 metres, right up her alley.
Yes, it is, Andrew. It's, you know, on previous form, she's got it all to do with a couple of others in the race at the weights. But her run in the July was top draw. She's come through that run really well. And I think if she could reproduce that run, then she would certainly go very close to winning this.
Her stable companion, also a high-class filly, maybe not in her league yet, but you never know, over 2,000 metres she might just be.
Yeah, funny you should say that. There wasn't much between them a year ago, and Bless My Stars certainly had a clearer passage compared to this filly, Rock the Fox. But I've always thought highly of her. She's under pressure at the ratings, but she's had a lovely preparation where some of the other fillies have had a long season. She's hitting this race her third run after a rest. It wouldn't shock me to see her thereabouts.
To get a runner in a Grade 1 race is always an honour, but to have five, or four rather, and Longsword, Hotterbury, the Africa House, and of course the superstar Lucky Lad, you must be very well pleased. The draws haven't been kind to you in certain respects, but how do you analyse that race?
Yeah, very interesting. I think if the two top-rated horses drew well, we wouldn't have to run four. Obviously, Longsword, Hotterbury, they're both in the same boat. They're maiden winners. They're horses that are going to get much better next season. And they've got draws and they're in good form, so we're running them and hoping for the best. Obviously, the Africa House, it's a high-class horse. He got a lot of interference at Scottsville. I wasn't able to run him at Greyville because of the interference and scratches and whatnot post that race. So he's coming in off an interrupted prep, but I've been very happy with his last two gallops. He's a horse that certainly will see out the mile and will be running on strongly. Lucky Lad, I think definitely the best horse in the race. He's had a lovely preparation. Unfortunately, we've been dealt the blow of the wide berth, and in my opinion, that's probably the only thing that'll stop him.
Okay, and then we move on to the Gold Cup, where you've got the previous winner of the Gold Cup with his jockey back aboard, Lyle Hewitson in the brass. And then, of course, you've got the very high-class Future Pearl, who just doesn't seem to have got anywhere close to his top of his performance ranking.
Yeah, I thought that Future Pearl's performance on July Day in the Vase was top draw. I have mentioned that his two best runs have come with a sting out of the ground. I don't know if that is fair comment, but he's certainly a young horse on the up. He stays really well. I think it's a very exciting horse for the day. He certainly could get the job done. He is under sufferance with the horses above him in the weights, and he may not be that far under sufferance because he was limited with the penalty that he could receive winning the Vase. So an interesting horse, big runner, lovely preparation, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him win it. Nebras, I think he's very well handicapped in this race. He's only giving away 5 kilos to the bottom weight, which is a lot less than he's used to giving. He's only out at the weights with a horse above him, so I would think he's really well weighted. He's had a wonderful prep. You can't read anything into that July Day run, that they went so slowly. It was hard for any horse to really finish off strongly. And yeah, he will be there.
Okay, and now to the race that gets you out of bed. I mean, it really is a champagne race to end the season with, and I think people are very, very excited and intrigued that you elected to go for the Champions Cup as opposed to the Mercury Sprint. We know that she can sprint. We also know that at her very best, she's only been a whisker behind the Triple Tiara winner, War of Athena, and fifth in the Met. That basically says it all.
Yeah, she's high class, Andrew. You know, whether she wins it or not, she's a top filly. And I think if ever you'd like to try that sort of trip again, now's the time. She's come off a really good win in the mile, had a lovely 1200 pipe opener before that. So in my mind, she's had a lovely preparation towards this 1800. I'm certainly not worried about taking on the boys in a sprint if I had the draw.
Yeah.
This filly is top class. and whether she can take it all the way through to 9 furlongs, we're going to find out on Sunday. She's had a perfect preparation. I couldn't ask for her to be in better hands. Her and Richard have built up a wonderful relationship this season, and there's no gimme putts, Andrew.
I watched you watch the Garden Province, where some people build it a match race. She didn't have the easiest of passage. She pulled, she was wide, she still found extra, and the look on your face was most rewarding.
If you aren't mindful of obstacles, then the racing public and media certainly point them out on a regular basis. So as confident as I could have been going into that race, obviously you're still mindful of all the naysayers, and you know, it's always more relief than excitement when a horse you expect to deliver a top performance actually goes on and does it.
So we chatted this morning, watching the horses work out, that the horse of the year, which you've had on several occasions, is not something that's necessarily on your radar. You put her in this race because it's a fantastic way to end her career against the boys over 9 furlongs in a weight for age contest.
Yes, 100%, Andrew. At the end of the day, Mario was always keen to go the 18, and I think everything's mapped out for her perfectly to go the 18. As I said earlier, the 1200, she's unbeaten over 12, so it would be a no-brainer to take your chances off a good draw in the 12. But it's just, there's no reservations on my side as to is she going to be competitive or not. I think she's one of the leading lights.
One of the things that I omitted, in the Mercury Sprint, you've got this high-class Group 1 winning colt, I believe he is.
Yeah, Thunderstruck has got it all to do with the ratings. But to me, this is a peak run. I think he's at his absolute top, and I think he's going to be there. However, the 2 top-rated horses deserve their rating, and especially Give Me a Prince with that draw. He looks like almost a slam dunk. But as you say, you've got to get the job done still.
To honour a man like Douglas White, very, very fair tribute. 13 times Hong Kong champion jockey. Let's go now, and that's my baby represent you in the final Grade 1 of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's my baby. She's got decent form, but obviously a very poor draw. I always thought she could be competitive in a race like this, but you sort of lose your enthusiasm when you look at the draw. And Let's Go Now, 2 months ago, I didn't expect to have broken a maiden by now, let alone going into a Group 1. So she's improving at a rate of knots. I've no doubt in my mind she's going to be a way better 3-year-old. But she's got the draw, she's got the form, and we're basically testing the waters to see if she can step up again and improve further on her last one.
And I suppose there's nothing in the whole wide world that can give you any kind of barometer to Miss Geriatrics, because she is just clearly in another universe to anything that's run around her this year.
I wouldn't say she's in another universe compared to Lucky Lad, but in terms
of the fillies, sorry.
In terms of fillies, yeah, I certainly don't have anything close. And Let's Go Now is a complete reverse in that she's got very good heart rates, gives you all the indication that she's a stamina filly, and just sort of starts to unwind where Mrs. G has just got gears. So, yeah, foolish comparison.
So Let's Go Now could be a filly to go to the Triple Tiara.
She could well be that type of filly, and you know, we've seen them get the job done on Gold Cup days. So let me not be too blasé and try and sidestep it. Let's have a go. Got a long time to recover for the Triple Crown, and hopefully she covers herself in glory.